Hey guys, this is Simon from Massive Awesome. You asked to see some miniatures, so I'm going to give you some miniatures. So let's take a look at what we've got on the table. Now this represents everything that we have produced so far for Shattered Earth. We are showing from left to right the United Nations of Mankind, the Deathless, and the Cult of the Dragon. So let's go right ahead and have a look at the Cult of the Dragon. So, what have we got here? Well, first model you can see in the background is Jormungandr, the world's Serpent. This is one of the first models that we actually produced for Shattered Earth, and as you can see, it's a pretty incredible sculpt. It was done from an original concept by Ivo Widoliński and sculpted by Seth Nash. An absolutely incredible model to bring to the range, and something a little bit unique, I think. I can actually show you the painted one as well, who is sat over here, very delicately positioned on a piece of tissue paper. So this was actually painted by, let me see if I can get that up and you can take a look at it a bit closer. There we go. So this was painted by Robert Carlson, otherwise known as Rogland. And you can just see the detail and the quality of the painting on that miniature. He's really done an incredible job for us on that. Just an absolutely first-class paint job. So we'll take a quick look at the rest of the range. So this is Lee Kyong-Min, who's actually the guy inside of Jormungandr. And this is the limited edition model that we are making available as part of the Kickstarter. So he comes with his own stat card, the same as Jormungandr, so he can be used on his own in the game. But he also comes with a replacement stat card for Jormungandr, which means that if you have both models, you can actually play with them together. Not at the same time, because that would be a little bit too powerful. But they have rules that interact and allow them to do slightly different things on the tabletop. So again, you can see just the absolutely incredible sculpt and the detail of the resin cast itself. Now, all of these miniatures have been cast by a gentleman called Brian Fawcett, who is a real legend in the hobby industry. He is formerly of Forge World, and chances are, if you've got any of the original Forge World sculpts, he was the person that cast them for you. He also designed his fair share of models, including one of my favourite models of all time, the Baneblade tank. So if you're a fan of any of his work, then rest assured we are in safe hands. Let's move a little bit over to the left. And I'm going to show you, first of all, the resin for the Acolytes of the Dragon. So there's 3 Acolytes of the Dragon in the set. These are the crazy, etherically powered foot soldiers of the Cult of the Dragon. They are melee combat specialists, as you can see from their various cybernetic implants. And they are extremely lethal if you get them into close combat. So a really, really good sort of shock force, if you like. Okay, that's the Cult of the Dragon. Let's have a little look over here on the left. I'll just take the camera out a little bit to show you. This is the Deathless. So each of the different sets that we're showing you, I'm obviously showing you the bare resin and also the painted miniatures as well. But these are essentially, for the most part, barring the limited edition Kyong-Min at least, these are essentially the starter forces for each of the different factions. So the Deathless, let me take a look at this guy. So this is Czernobog, the Black God. Again, just another incredible sculpt. He's sat on a 50mm base, so he's a pretty big miniature. This concept was done by Marco Caradonna. We've taken inspiration from Guillermo del Toro, from Mike Mignola. We wanted to create a really interesting and unique look for the Deathless faction. These are the creatures of dreams and nightmare. So we wanted to make sure that we really showcase that on the tabletop. The sculpting was done by Glauco Longhi, who is a really expert creature sculptor. And again, he's just done a phenomenal job on this. Now, what you're probably not picking up, I don't know, let's see how close we can get in here. I'm not sure if you can see it too well on the camera, but the actual skin itself that's stretched across his body, I mean, you can see the muscle definition on his chest area there. And also some of the detail on the neck section. Really incredible fine detail, which you will only get from digital sculpts and using the very highest quality resin available. But there's patterning sort of imprinted on his skin, very, very sort of fine layer of patterning. And we've had a few people comment and say they're they're a little bit intimidated by some of these sculpts when it comes to painting them. But what I would say is that neither myself nor John are expert painters ourselves. In fact, we're pretty amateur, to be fair. Myself more so than John, I think. But these guys, because of the amount of detail we've worked into the flatter surfaces, you're able to get a really incredible sort of paint job. Oh, we just knocked a Drek over. A really incredible paint job just from doing a few coats and some washes, basically. So the detail just picks up really, really well. So we'll have a look at the painted ones. Let's just straighten him up. So this is the painted Jormungandr, painted Czernobog, I should say. Let's see if we can get in there. There we go. So this was actually painted by Awaken Realms. And they've done a great job, an absolutely great job on the blending, in particular on his wings. But you can see the detail now on the skin that's basically been picked up on the surface. And you know, this is an incredible paint job. But as I was saying, you can probably get very, very good results just from a few layers and a wash, maybe a glaze on top, just because the detail is so fine, and it really helps bring the model to life. So again, just a phenomenal sculpt and finished paint job. So we'll have a little look at these guys, which you may have seen in shot. These are the Drekavacs. These are the little Gribblies, if you like. And we spent some time really working out what an interesting design, if you like, for these kind of creatures, because a lot of games have their sort of small, 30 mil creatures, and a lot of ideas had already been sort of done before. So what we wanted to do is make sure that we were trying to do something different, really. And if we look at the painted ones, again, these are done by Awaken Realms, you can see that, let's get this guy in here. You can see how just interesting the sculpts are. This is a unit of 4 miniatures, and they actually come with swappable heads as well. And there's little, let me see if I can show you the guy with the horns, the guy with the 2 horns at the back, and this guy with a single horn. They're actually interchangeable as well. The tongues are separate pieces, so you can actually do make some interesting sort of variety in the sculpts with you mix and match the heads and the horns, basically, just to give you a bit more sort of variety on the tabletop. You'll see there in that chest cavity, that's Ether, an etheric glow coming from his chest. So the Deathless faction have this symbiotic relationship with Ether, and that's been sort of brought to life in the paint scheme here. Okay, last but not least, we move further over here to the left. This is the United Nations of Mankind. Now, the guys on the left, the painted ones, they are they are hot off the press. I literally went to the post office this morning to collect these guys, so this is the first time really anybody's seen them. You may have, these were painted by James Wapple, otherwise known as Wapelius. Again, just an absolutely tremendous job on these miniatures. You will have seen the photographs he's taken on the blog. If you haven't, go check it out. I'll put the link in the description. But this is the first time I've seen them as well. So I've literally just got them out of the box, set them up on the table, and I am filming them for your entertainment. So I'll show you the bare resin, and then you can get a good look at the detail on these guys. So let's have a look at Mitch Ward first of all. So this is Mitch. Mitch is the leader, essentially, of the Coyote Assault Troopers. He's a veteran Coyote Assault Trooper himself. You can just see his leg augmentations. Mitch has had, he's seen his fair share of combat for sure. So he wears the standard Coyote armor with a few different augmentations. The legs in particular stand out. That gives him an extra burst of speed when he needs it, a little bit more power. And then the rest of the Coyote troopers, this female Marine in particular, is just a beautiful, beautiful sculpt. Concept work for these was done by Anthony O'Donnell, and the sculpting was again by Seth Nash. I think on these miniatures in particular, you can probably see the sort of true scale, natural proportions that we've been aiming for with this range. There are no oversized hands or heads or feet on these miniatures. These are as naturally proportioned as we can get them at this particular scale. I'll show you the guys at the back. Let's just move Mitch out of the way so I can show you those two. So these come with head swaps as well. So actually the guy on the right, he's wearing his little, I think it's a boonie hat at the moment, or just a little cap. He's actually got a helmet head that goes with it. And then the guy on the left, you can just, if I turn him around so you can see, He's wearing his cloak, and he's actually got a helmet on at the moment with the cloak's hood pulled down. The second choice of head for him is actually a sort of an open face, if you like, with the helmet off, with the hood pulled up over his head. Just again to give you a little bit more variety. And again, with the female Marine, she's also got a helmet as well. So I'll take one last look at the painted miniatures, particularly Mitch. I mean, the blending work and the skin tones is absolutely phenomenal. Oh, the reason why these guys are on different bases, the eagle-eyed amongst you may have noticed. The game is actually played on the sort of the round lip skirmish size bases, 30, 40 and 50 mil we use. These guys are on 25 mil bases. They're just the ones that James had. They are such beautiful bases. He's actually dry fit the miniatures on pins, so I can actually put them on the 30 mil bases. But it seems like such a shame because he's done really great work on those bases as well. Okay. Right, guys, I hope that gives you a better sort of overview, if you like, of the range of miniatures that we have available for Shattered Earth. Please continue to back, continue to support, spread the word. When I started filming this video, we were already over 60% funded, and we've not even gone a full 24 hours yet. So, just absolutely phenomenal. Myself and John have both been absolutely blown away. So please do what you can, say hi. I will respond to your messages as soon as I possibly can. But obviously things are a little bit hectic here. And I will also produce more content for you because I know you want to see some nice high-res shots of these miniatures. So I will be adding more content to the Kickstarter page over the next few days. So for now, thanks very much for watching and take care.